so the monks can get it every time, and because of the 4 temples, the monks who came here later were unaware of it. Until one day when the monks started again, the girl who knew the truth did not want to be possessed by them. She died on the pillar of the temple. Unexpectedly, the monks who were there were scared. In order to cover up the crime, they buried the girl in the temple. But the girl's resentment did not dissipate. Finally, the monks in the temple began to kill the monks. Because of this incident, people learned the truth. Since then, the glorious, lonely, cold court has been completely sealed. Until 100 years later, a mission gathered the 5 people here. And because of the appearance of the living, the girl's soul reappeared. He found the 5 of us as soon as he appeared. He asked for his soul to be released. It turned out that the evil monk of the lonely cold court had been executed at that time. But the mastermind, Wang Guan, faked his death and escaped. And Wang Guan is not a human being. It is a kind of monster called Shan Xiao. After hearing the tragic experience of the girl, our group of people took on the task. Then he made it clear that he would come to the lonely cold court 7 days later. This is the only chance to kill him. After that, in order to beat the monsters, it was not easy, so we came to the place where Shan Xiao would take the wine. We buried the anti-tank mine here. After everything was done, we quietly waited for the arrival of the 7th day. As the 7th day came at night, the temple at this time was very lively. All kinds of monsters began to gather together to have fun. Until Wang Guan came here, they stopped the game and turned it into a crowd. They began to pat him on the ass and offer gifts, and this kind of gift-giving session lasted for an hour and was not over yet. Seeing Wang Guan did not take the wine, I was anxious. In order to solve this situation, I also offered a treasure. Wang Guan was also interested in my strange clothes. I am from a remote island overseas. I heard that the good wine in the Central Plains was specially offered to the master. The monster here was very angry at this. It is rumored that Master Wang took out the good wine to compare. Seeing that, he also comforted the monsters present and went to get the wine. When he entered the wine cellar, his partner directly pressed the alarm button. At that time, a strong sense of righteousness spread to the temple. After the monster was killed, he learned that the wine cellar was in a mess. We were looking forward to Wang Guan's death. But the next second, he climbed out of the ruins without a scratch. He even kept the wine. Seeing that, we understood the strength of Shan Xiao. Far beyond expectation, I thought it had been exposed. But he didn't care about what happened. He continued to go back to the temple to check on the monster. Until the monster was drunk, Wang Guan smiled and opened his mouth. Of course, good wine should be eaten with good meat. With his hands, he went back to the temple. Several monsters put a sedan chair outside the door. When the monster took out the thing, he found that it was a living person. When the woman opened her eyes, she saw a demon staring at her. She screamed in shock. She crawled into the monk's arms. "Master, help me." It turned out that the woman was the monk's wife. The fetus in her womb was also the monk's bone. But I didn't expect the monk to touch the woman's head. For 3 years, I have been good to you. But you have been collecting evidence of my use of the Buddhist chant. I wanted to keep you alive, but you broke my heart. The woman's eyes were wide open. She held back the fear of the heart. "Husband, spare me. This is your bone marrow." It didn't expect the monk to laugh loudly. Which pill is not a man's bone marrow? It's because of this effect that it's stronger. A kind of demon also came at the right time. That's great. It seems that there is still meat to eat. And I, who disguised as a guest, and several other players also heard the cold cat's index. I didn't expect the monster of this copy to be so crazy. That's right, the monk is the one who has been cultivating for many years. It is the biggest treasure of this Guhan temple copy. The woman on the other side of despair took out the poison and stabbed the abdomen. I'd rather die than be a curse. But the monk is just a woman who knows how to embroider. She was trapped in the air by an invisible force. Then the monk asked his men to move to practice Danlu. At that moment, he was going to turn the woman and her fetus into pills. To tell you the truth, I got a great way. The baby of Shui Shou is polluted by the city. Add a drop of blood from 100 demons, and you can make 100 pills. You only need one to increase your cultivation and break through the cultivation group. I have dozens of sisters in the dungeon in my house. The medicine is sufficient.
As long as you are willing to offer blood for a long time, I can produce endless pills for each other. What do you think? The new dynasties of the Demon Hall are willing to listen to the master's arrangements. Then Shan Xiao opened the lid of the Danlu. Don't be afraid, Hongling. I've been a husband for many years. I'll give you and the baby a good time. In the next second, Tangba's demon force turned into a woman in the form of a red bell. At this time, Yi Bing turned to heaven and appeared in vain to cut the red bell. It was the official player of the special bureau of Li Shu who took action. He thought that he had just persuaded the others to calm down and keep himself as a medicine. He was also embarrassed to be greedy. I'm sorry to drag you into the water. When hearing "and the month" is just a two-handed thing. It's nothing. The left and right is just killing each other. Gao Kaolin, Yu Gi, and Li Wu Dai are directly pulling out the longbow. Are you done? Gao Shin's Shan Xiao was full of pride. You said I was a demon. You said I was a demon. Shan Xiao ran away. The dark demon aura fell on the hall. Then it turned into countless kulo boulders. You said I was. Then I was. With Shan Xiao's order, the kulo boulders raised a long knife to kill us. A few little demons wanted to come forward to assist, but in the next second they were cut by the kulo boulders who had no spirit. After a while, the rest of the demons ran away. There was no time to fight. We went to the outside hall. I also caught up with the sword. Then, as planned, are there a few people who tried to consume Shan Xiao's demon aura. I'll go and save him. And Brother Xiaogou also changed his daily behavior. Don't worry, I'll take care of the little demons. Then he rushed into the kulo boulders. In a blink of an eye, the kulo boulders were cut into pieces. After a while, the kulo boulders were cut into pieces, but Shan Xiao's demon aura was frozen in his hand. He played a good sword. Let's see how many more you can play. The strong demon aura suppressed Brother Xiaogou. The sword was about to be hit. Fortunately, the Star of Light appeared in time and blocked all the demons. The Star of Light is a special effect. The special effect is strong. The light of the day, the world is bright. The Star of Light rose from the sky. The two fists hit Shan Xiao. But I didn't expect that in the next second, he was stunned by the huge force of Tangba. His hands were bloody. The demon aura almost absorbed all the attacks. Shan Xiao was also disappointed. The little demons also dared to knock on the door. I'm going to fiend it.
Seal the fire. Give it to me. In a blink of an eye, the demon aura was on fire. It was directly burned into the room of the Daxiang fortress. After a moment, countless flames fell from the sky and hit the Milky Way. In a critical moment, Hu Bin immediately opened the golden bell to block the attack. Shan Xiao was also shocked. He immediately took out a talisman paper. I was shocked, but I didn't expect a sword to fall from the sky. After a fierce explosion, Shan Xiao's whole palm was frozen. There was no chance for Shan Xiao to breathe. The attack was repeated again. Shan Xiao was in a cold sweat. He couldn't take another sword. He immediately showed his original form. The huge demon Chu smashed the sword. What a fierce little lady. Very good. You are very good. 2 bad guys and 4 strong enemies, but you guys are done here. The sword-shaped Hu Bin and the Milky Way are finally back to Shan Xiao's form. His demon aura is no longer enough to support the original form in magic. Your brother should be almost ready. It turned out that just a few minutes ago, I saw all the demons fleeing the scene. I also followed them out. I summoned the young girls who were in my body. I was going to devour all the demons who had eaten people. I used magic to provide the spiritual power that needed to be consumed. I summoned the 8 soul hair and began to accumulate spiritual power. The next second, I rushed to Bai Wusheng, who was in my hand. When he didn't respond, I tied him up. At the same time, the young girl in my body began to absorb spiritual power. When I saw this terrible scene, the little demons wanted to escape from the scene. But how could I let the big meal run away? Then I closed my eyes and used magic. Those demons turned around like a ghost hitting a wall. At this time, they were in a daze. It was time for me to start eating. But just as I was trying to devour the spiritual power, a sudden explosion was heard in the hall. Jin Gen's figure was shocked.
I only saw that the old man's hard-to-stabilize body said, "Shan Xiao has been seriously injured. Now, the earthquake can completely injure him." But I didn't wait for him to continue to speak. Shan Xiao has broken through the hall and rushed out. The old man's gang was about to be chased and ran this way. And when Shan Xiao stepped into the earthquake area, the old man's gang detonated. It further damaged his body. It worked. Then he detonated the remaining few earthquakes. I only saw Shan Xiao, who had been seriously injured, stop. He wanted to use the spiritual treasure to absorb the moonlight to recover his injury, but how could we give him a chance? The swordsman drew a knife and broke it. At the same time, a sword was shot at the woman and crushed the spiritual treasure. I saw that the last support was not as fierce as he was. I raised my palm and smashed it at them. Fortunately, the monks activated the golden bell in time to block this strike. Shan Xiao was already out of breath at this time. They just need to hide in here. Shan Xiao's sword could not break the defense and attacked me. At this time, I was ready. I used the illusion while avoiding the attack. In the next second, Shan Xiao fell into the illusion and couldn't move. But this close-range strike can only be witched for dozens of seconds, so I took out the bomb and started to set up. And when he woke up, I had already set up to escape from here. At the same time, I pressed the start button. In this way, Shan Xiao ended his life in a flame. After the battle, a few people also left the scene. I left the old man alone to recover the body. On the way out, the girl thanked him for helping him get revenge. At the same time, he had a heartless request. He asked me if I could take him in. I thought it was better to have someone to accompany me when I was alone. So I agreed to his request. I thought this matter would come to an end. But 3 days later, an old man came here. He saw that his disciple was only left with flesh and blood. The old man released the forbidden spell and began to gather his flesh and blood. It's just a moment, and Shan Xiao's body was revived. The old man saw that he had recovered and said, "Wang Guan's disciple, let's go to revenge."